And
we're actually live.
today we are. Whoops, trying to reconnect already.
Oh boy.
But you just keep on going.
Okay, I'm going to
because,
keep on going because we're going to post it regardless and then we'll have it on YouTube.
Well, people catch up.
Okay, so we want to apologize for being... Ooh.
I got my notification that Keeler Gardens is live.
So you may not have gotten your notification yesterday that Keeler Gardens was live because we tried to go live and we couldn't. I don't know if there was an issue because the power's been sort of choppy in our area. A lot of people are without power. We're really sorry about that. So if you did get your notification and you're joining us today, excellent. If you're joining us today and you don't know about notifications, turn your notifications on. Like us and follow us on Facebook so you'll always know when we are live on Facebook.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel where these videos are getting posted thanks to our interns.
Yes.
After, you're going to see a whole bunch of videos come up.
So with that said, we're going to just roll right into our topic today. We were going to talk about trees yesterday. In fact, we're going to talk about trees all week. And the reason we're talking about trees is because we noticed with the storm all the tree damage that we saw. And it was very interesting how some massive trees made it through and others were ripped right out of the ground. So we just wanted to talk to you briefly about the nature of how a tree...
Oh, Phyllis is watching.
Hello! Nice. Thanks for joining us. Nice to see you. We just wanted to give you a couple of brief tidbits about how trees root and the nature of their roots and the nature of how trees grow. So we're going to start simply with when a tree is very, very young, it's called a sapling. You might notice that it does this in the wind, as do young branches, okay?
What does it do?
It does this in the wind.
Just want to be clear.
Okay. And what that means is that the stem, the trunk, or the branch has a lot of give and a lot of play. It's very flexible. What that's telling the tree is, go this way, go that way, it's all fine. And that movement is helping that tree build stability. So when you have a sapling and it's waving around in the wind, it's teaching that plant to create strength to prevent breakage. And what happens is the trunk gets stronger and stronger. If you keep that sapling tied up so that it doesn't move in the wind, you're actually doing it harm. One of our arborists warned us when we had some saplings. We wanted to keep them straight because they were moving around too much. He's like, they need to have some of that bend and give in the wind so they learn to be strong. Very interesting. The other thing you might notice about how trees grow is they grow toward the sun, or they grow in the direction that they're happiest. So you have to prune and control so that they're not like leaning way over. So what happens in the big trees like this, especially in canopies like this, when you have some space where trees can grow, you'll have limbs that hang over the street or hang over the sidewalk. And oftentimes those are sticking out. They're not part of, let's call it, the forest. And when a big
didn't see your air quotes on the forest.
When a big windstorm comes through, those branches that are sticking out sort of get the brunt of it like a sail. And if those branches aren't strong enough, that's when they shear and they break off. So another reason that we're seeing some trees like literally uprooted is because their roots truly are not stable. The tree may be doing okay, and it is pulling water from the ground, and it's getting some nutrients, and it's getting water and up into its canopy. But its root system is really not sound or stable, and so when put under strong pressure, any weak point, it snaps. Trees will literally come out at the ground, and you'll see like an area around the trunk that will rip out. Tree roots for healthy trees, obviously there's like massive tap, there's massive roots that go down, but there's also a wide network of roots that go to the width of the entire canopy of the tree. And if those roots are healthy, that's what keeps it from tipping out, in addition of course to the tap root. So we learn how roots can be important. And then we also saw a scenario by which trees are splitting in these crazy windstorms. Now, if you look at this tree here, you'll see it's a big V. And we've been monitoring this to determine if that V is going to be dangerous to the point where the tree might split. When you have a V like that with a tree, you want it to be one trunk with two branches that maybe make a V. What this looks like is actually two trees that have grown so close together, and it's not, it's one tree with two branches, but because the V is so evenly spaced and because the trunk is relatively large and each trunk of the V is so large, the tree is almost treating it like it has two trees. And what happens is when two trees are next to each other, that center connection isn't very strong, and that's why they can split.
Also, it can get, I've seen entries where
yes.
they start to break apart a little bit, but not that much, and they're so
and then
strong
water
that water
gets
collects.
stuck in there, and then it rots. And so these are all different issues. So we're talking today about how we keep our trees healthy. We keep the roots strong. We keep them flowing in the wind until they have a stable trunk. We keep them pruned in a way where there's not one big limb hanging out there, waiting to take the brunt of the wind. We get rid of dead branches or diseased branches because those are the branches that are going to go first. They're just brittle wood. They're just going to snap right off. And we were also educated from a wonderful group of tree people about targets. So if you have a 10-acre wooded lot and you have a tree that totally looks like it's going to come down someday naturally on its own, and where will it fall? Into a prairie or into another tree, and you don't really care. The targets are minimal. But here on a street like this, our targets are cars and people. So we do want to monitor for how those trees might fall in a storm. So that gives you a brief starting point of how we want to see trees growing. We're going to stop there on that aspect, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about our series for tomorrow and the next day. We're going to talk to you about specifics about what's called a root flare and a girdling and how we manage trees from a maintenance perspective. We'll talk to you about that tomorrow. We want to thank our very generous donor, Dr. Michaela Cafaro. She has still left her matching program open through the end of the period, which will be the end of the week.
Also want to thank those that we got a check from a business.
Yes,
with
so
a match from somebody,
we did
we
did get a business match. So thank you. So that brings us up near the $300 mark for our $500 match. We still have $200 to go. Who can maybe send us a couple more bucks so we can make that $500 match? We want to thank you all for that. We want to thank those that participated in the video challenge with SIGA. We have some folks who are putting up their videos, and also thanks for thumbs upping our video. If you go to
YouTube,
the SIGA YouTube channel, you can find us there, or you can, a couple posts back, you can see the link to that YouTube video, and you can thumbs up it through YouTube once you click through. So with all that said, join in our programming, watch our videos, share these videos. We're here to offer opportunities for everyone in the community and communities everywhere.
If you have any questions that are on the horticultural side, you can email Gina at
keelergardens.org.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell them about me, and then I was going to say
I thought you were going to tell them about
See
you.
how I lobbed that up really nicely?
And on the educational side,
our ESPN is really off today. On the educational side, you can email me, Ed Kaplan, ed@keelergardens.org.
We are here for educators. We are here for parents. We are here for youth who have time now that we're not going back into the schools. We are working. We want to work with you to help you with learning and programming and connecting with nature. With that said, thank you for listening and following us all the way to the end. We tell you our addresses and our website, Keeler Gardens at keelergardens.org. Thank you very much for that. You get the benefit of hashtag stick around. So I'm going to give you a cool word today, and you got to join us tomorrow for the second cool word. The cool word is xylem.
Xylem.
Xylem, I believe is how it's spelled. Xylem is
when I clear my throat. No?
That's Ed being funny, trying to be funny, not actually being funny. Xylem is the cellular structure inside a plant.
I feel like I need to get closer to your hands here.
Starts, at the base of the plant and goes all the way through and pulls water and water-soluble nutrients from the roots up into the plant.
Nobody on the camera can see that exact moment that you can see when I go, oh, that's kind of cool on my
face.
It's like,
what's that word?
Xylem.
So xylem. I'll spell it. Maybe I'll put a link in so you can see the scientific, technical terminology.
That's like a triple word score.
Yes. So we've brought you a triple word score in Scrabble and a nice scientific term that you can research and learn from, and a few hellos from Hunter. So we'll end with Hunter on camera. Hunter, why don't we smile for the camera? All right there, sweetie. And we will see you all tomorrow. All right? Take care.